As a proud University of Georgia SPIA student, I am honored to introduce you to a woman who needs no introduction. She is a woman who has inspired the masses, a woman who has reminded the country of the importance of grassroots organizing, a woman who has pushed for change despite facing immense roadblocks. She's the youngest congressperson in United States history, named as one of BBC's top 100 women, and even has an asteroid named after her. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, better known as AOC, has completely changed how we view representatives and continues to motivate young Americans like us to stand proudly and firmly for their beliefs. Unlike many DC politicians, AOC comes from extremely humble beginnings. As a self-proclaimed girl from the Bronx, Ocasio-Cortez was born and spent her early years in Bronx, New York. Growing up in the third most densely populated county in the country, home to 1.4 million people, was not always easy for her. Her mother, a Puerto Rican immigrant, worked as a housekeeper, and her father, also of Puerto Rican descent but native to the Bronx, owned a small business. Her parents wanted more for their children, however, and worked hard to save their money to move to Yorktown Heights, a more affluent suburb 30 miles north of the Bronx. During the week, AOC would stay in Yorktown Heights, but on the weekends, her family would return to the Bronx to tend to her father's business and spend time with her cousins. AOC told Mike.com, quote, "I grew up with this reality and understanding of income equality as, when I'm in this zip code, I have these opportunities, and when I'm in that zip code, I don't have these opportunities." In 2007, Ocasio-Cortez graduated from high school and attended Boston University. She continued to be a driven student, securing internships at the Foreign Affairs and Immigration's office in Massachusetts and at a maternity clinic in Niger. Her sophomore year, tragedy struck. Her father died of a rare form of lung cancer. In an interview with Intercept, Ocasio-Cortez commented, quote, "It really forced me to grapple with questions of, what do I want to do with my life?" End quote. While AOC impressively still graduated cum laude in 2011 with a degree in economics and international relations, she also left Boston University something that a lot of us students can relate to: thousands of dollars of student debt, which added to her family's financial burdens. She returned to the Bronx and began waiting tables and bartending to support herself and her mother. At her darkest point, in which she was pickpocketed and lost all her daily earnings, she stated, "That day I locked myself in my room and cried deep. I had nothing left to give her to be." End quote. Little did she know she still had a lot left to give. AOC worked as a field organizer for Bernie Sanders' 2016 campaign, knocking doors and making calls to voters. Despite Trump's subsequent win, AOC was encouraged and took a road trip across the Midwest to talk to Americans and witness the struggles people were going through across the nation. At the end of her road trip, she received a call. A couple of Sanders staffers were looking to train new candidates, and they wanted to know if she was interested in attempting a bid for Congress. By February 2018, Ocasio-Cortez had saved enough money to quit bartending, and she launched her grassroots campaign for Congress, defeating the Democratic 10-term incumbent and the Republican challenger. On January 3rd, 2019, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was sworn into the 116th Congress. Despite receiving backlash and negativity for her strong beliefs, AOC has worked tirelessly in Congress to stand up for struggling families like her own from the Bronx. Throughout her life journey of triumphs and heartbreak, AOC has never stopped working to fight for what she believes in, and she's inspired Americans across the nation like myself. With that being said, it is my pleasure to introduce U.S. House Representative from the 14th District of New York, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.